arm hurts. Over the past 15 years of teaching, I've met many adult students and seniors ranging from their 20s to 60s. Most of them struggle with arm pain because their fingers aren't flexible. But don't worry, I have the solution for you. Playing the piano involves using your fingers to produce sound through muscle movement. Therefore, it's crucial to have flexibility between your fingers. If you haven't played the piano for a long time or practiced without finger independence exercises, you might end up straining your arm by forcing finger movements. But don't be disheartened. It's not just you. Everyone experiences this. Even children, especially the fourth and fifth fingers, are hard to move because the muscles are connected. So, you've likely found playing with these fingers particularly challenging. It's similar to starting ballet as an adult when your body doesn't respond as you wish. Thus, you need to practice finger independence exercises. I'll explain 3 methods for practicing finger independence. Make sure to follow along, as missing any of these steps will hinder your progress. So watch till the end. Independence means being self-sufficient. First, to make your fingers self-sufficient, practice lifting your fingers like this. When you play a note and move to the next, lift your finger like this. You should also lift your finger while playing the next note. Most people tend to keep their fingers glued to the keyboard because it feels like letting go sends the fingers into some distant space. Especially those afraid of reading sheet music tend to cling to the keys. So, make sure to practice lifting each finger individually. You might exaggerate lifting up than you might think. What I mean is that many people, when told to lift their fingers, end up just pressing the keys like this as they move to the next note. Many people tend to play with their fingers glued to the keys, but that's not correct. You need to lift your fingers this much, like this. See, I'm lifting my fingers here. That's because you're supposed to play the note with the force generated by lifting and lowering your finger. If you don't, you'll only be using the strength from this position, right? The feeling is different between only using the force from here and using the force from lifting and dropping your finger. So, to avoid just applying force from this position and to use the lifting and dropping force instead, you need to incorporate relaxation. The second method is thinking that the notes are connected. You might wonder, why connect the notes? You asked for independence. But if finger independence isn't followed by connection, the notes can sound choppy or disconnected. Think of it as pronouncing each syllable clearly while maintaining a flow in speech. Independent but connected. For example, saying, hello, how are you? Is independent but choppy, while hello, hwareo is connected without clarity. We aim for hello, how are you, where independence and connection coexist. The key here is to move your fingers while keeping your wrist connected. Many people move their wrists instead of their fingers, causing strain. Just like we move our mouths to speak clearly, we need to move our fingers to play the piano. However, when finger independence is lacking, people tend to move their wrists instead to compensate. Like this, you should be moving your fingers, but many people move their wrists instead of their fingers. That's why your arm tends to tense up. The key point here is that while your fingers should move, your wrist should remain connected and stable, like this. So what's important is that the fingers are moving, but the wrists are connected. See, my wrist isn't moving, but my fingers are. For example, when playing Ballade pour Adeline, you should play like this, not like this. You must avoid improper technique. The third method is finding the melody note while relaxing your thumb. Our thumbs are the thickest fingers, so they tend to apply the most force. But unfortunately, in most melodies for the right hand, the thumb should play the softest role. This is because the melody is often in the pinky finger, Look at this sheet music. When tension builds up, just relaxing your thumb can solve the problem. Here, the melody note is in the pinky finger. Many people feel they need to play quickly because of the 16th notes. This naturally makes your right hand tense. Like this. But instead of thinking about pressing with your thumb, just touch it gently. Start by playing with your pinky finger. All you have to do is touch it. It doesn't have to make a sound at first. Just put it to your hand and it'll sound natural, like this. Another little tip. You see the same note repeated multiple times. But should these notes be played with the same intensity and volume? Music always flows from one point to another. Never forget this musical attribute. So, rather than playing each note abruptly, think of moving towards the next note. It doesn't pause like this, it moves towards F. So you gradually increase the volume as you move towards the next note. You can control volume and strength. Your arm strength will naturally become relaxed. To recap today, first, finger independence. Second, wrist connection. Third, relax your thumb for the melody in the pinky finger. For adults, technical aspects and reading sheet music are often the most challenging. If you want to learn how to read sheet music efficiently, stay tuned for the next video.